Hi friends, Wizzy here. Welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. As you know, I've been playing the game for 5 years, grinding the game hard daily for 5 years, beating all the content and all the events. Let's see, where can I see actually that, yeah, you see it here. I'm 2020 class, I started playing during COVID, and I have all of those amazing achievements in game. As I said, for 5 years straight, I've been grinding the game almost daily without missing a day, grinding gear, getting the rewards and everything. But recently I've been feeling that when I'm looking at my champ stats compared to other content creators, I know I won't be at the same level as some of the content creators who grind the game way harder than me, dumping hundreds of thousands of gems over the years into farming gear. But still I had that thought that maybe if one of the content creators can gear his champions, let's say attack based champions, so if they can give them 10k attack or 8k attack, let's say 8k attack and 300% crit damage at 250 speed, maybe I can get to 7k damage, 220 speed and maybe 280 crit damage. So I'm a little bit lower, but the gap between me and those top tier content creators shouldn't be that huge, or that's what I thought. So recently when I was trying to gear some of my top champions, I noticed, for example, that all of the debuffers, if we talk about Fabian, Armands, this kind of champion, the content creators are gearing them at 380 or 390 or even 400 speed with 500 accuracy or more. And I was checking whether I can get to those speeds with speed boosters. Everyone got their speed boosters at 410 or over 400 speed. And I was checking whether I can get to those speeds or not with my top gear. And I got disappointed one time after the other. So with the most recent quality of life update that Plarium did, by the way, it was a very good update. No comments or negative comments there. So thank you, Plarium, for that most recent quality of life update. We wish to have more of this sooner because you have that huge budget, and please buff way more champion than that you're doing now. Let's focus on the positive today. We had a good quality of life update, and that allowed me the new filters to check my best gear ever. So yes, I could have done so using HH Optimizer or something, but let's check it on game today. I wanted to share with you, and I haven't checked this before the video, my best gear ever. Do I have some of those unicorn pieces that everyone is chasing after playing the game for 5 years straight? Let's check together now. For example, my first disappointment. Let's jump right into it. So, Arbiter was my fastest, is still, I believe, my fastest champ on the account. For some reason, I can never find a champion while searching for them on video. So, Arbiter got all speed gear and she got my fastest gear on the account. Can I get her above 400 speed? Let's check together now. The answer is no. So, the fastest gear ever on my account is 395 speed, which is a bit disappointing for me. I thought I'd be scraping, especially that for Arbiter, I didn't ask for anything else. I don't care about her accuracy, I don't care about her HP or defense. I just wanted to put on her the fastest gear on my account. And it's just 395 speed, it's not 400. Let's now check, do I have any speed pieces or other pieces with crazy speed rolls that I'm missing, that I'm not putting on Arbiter? Let's see. So of course, what we'll be looking for will include equipped pieces of gear. And what we'll be looking for is, let's say, for all of these, let's look for speed substats with, let's say, 4 upgrades. Quad rolls on speed. As you can see, I don't have any speed pieces with quad roll on speed. But let's see what I do have with quad rolls. So this one is on random champions because I'm not using Versov, that's Versov if I remember correctly, and it doesn't have the right substats or the right set even. Frost is not a set that you commonly use. The substats are not great. Yes, if the substats was great, good enough, I might have used it on one of the champions as a broken piece. But this is my first quad roll. Second quad roll is on regen. So regen is usable, especially for end game dungeon farming. And it's on my Chronam, so that's not a bad piece. My third quad roll is also not so great substats on Destroy. Destroy got a roll early on to beat Scarab in Doom Tower hard, but you grow out of it fast. So this is not also super useful. Then I have a couple of immortal pieces. Immortal is useful as 2-piece set to complement other pieces. So I have one in Cronam and one on Lady Noel, which is good. Affinity Breaker, I've put this on one of my Culval axes because it got the right stats. And of course in Stone Skin, that's good. Can you see it on the screen? Yes, you barely can. So the other stats are not super good on this piece, but having a quad roll on it's even a rank 5, not 6, but having a quad roll speed on a Stone Skin piece can be used for some champions. So these are all the quad roll speeds that I have on my account. Of course, I have plenty of 6-star speed boots that I can make sure, like the ones that Arbiter is wearing, I'll keep rerolling the Ascension till I get speed rolls here. So our first check for ultimate speed pieces, we got none. And if you noticed, we got none also in Perception, which is the second set that you want speed on. Let's now go check the second thing, which is accessories. Do I have any banners, which something that we use a lot with quad rolls on speed? These will be useful for a lot of champions. I have none. I have 0 banners. Did I check the banners? I checked everything. Okay. So I have 0 banners with quad rolls on speed. Let's check. Do I have any triple rolls? Okay. Yes, I got a couple. Is this one faster? No, it's slower. Of course I can speed. No, it's already speed glyphed. Okay. So I have some triple speed rolls on banners, which is, I think, the second best thing. This one on Supersonic will be very useful. I checked, for example, whether I can gear one of my debuffers or speed boosters into Supersonic because that's good for Live Arena. My Supersonic gear is not that good. It's not even there. But I have some good pieces in Slayer and Supersonic that can be used. Not with the right main stats though for some of the other purposes. So I have some triple roll speed on banners but not quad rolls on banners. So my luck with speed is really not that good. Let's now check something else. What I want to check for now is damage dealer, unicorn gloves. We'll put equipped as well, of course, crit damage main stat and crit rate substat. Let's look for quad rolls. I know probably we won't find any. Yep, as expected. So that would be perfect for a damage dealer. Let's look for triple rolls. So I got a few triple rolls, which is good. So that's not a great piece, but the Ascension made it really powerful. I'm not using Ronda anywhere, so this is just sitting there. I'm not using Blind Seer anywhere. So these are just random pieces. The reason is that they are not from the right set. Yes, a broken set can work, but in this level of endgame, you need them always on the right sets. So you need Cruel, you need Lethal, you need Savage. Anything other than this won't help you that much. Having them in Regen or Shield won't be impactful here. Like look at this for example. So I have this, probably I can re-roll it to get maybe crit damage or crit rate. Triple crit rate, that's on my Morto. That's one of my good pieces sitting on Steltos. And then yeah, one on Oboru. Okay, of course it's not Ascended Oboru, I just use it for Hydra. And then this is also not a bad one sitting on my Turvold. But overall, I don't have ones. This one on Supersonic, maybe I can gear someone in Supersonic. So that's another check that was disappointing for me. Let's do something here. Let's go to double rolls and see if I have some in good sets. Because as I was telling you, it has to be from the right set. So for example here, yes, I have some crit damage ones. Those rare ones won't get me the stats that I want. Let's check for Savage and Lethal. So I have some in Cruel. One of them only 5-star sitting on Razen here. So obviously I'm not using it much. Let's check Lethal here. I don't have any Lethal. So that's the problem with my damage gear. Yes, I have some triple and double rolls on crit damage, crit rate gloves, but they are not from the right sets. So that's why the stats of my champions are not that high. To be fair, I have a lot of forging material. So if I manage one day to clear my inventory, I can go and forge some gear with specific charms to look for specific pieces. And that's what I'll need to do to enhance my lethal gear, for example, because something else that we can look for here, or let's look for chest plates with primary stats like let's say HP percent, attack percent, and defense percent for the different types of damage dealers with like let's say of course you cannot check multiple of these. Let's see if we can have triple rolls. I know for a fact that we will not have quad rolls, yeah, of crit rate. Let's look for triple rolls to see what we have here. So speed can be a usable one. This one is sitting on my Demetha. Probably if I can find a comparable piece, especially if it doesn't have any speed substats, so this can help someone else. So the other substats are not that good. I have a couple in Savage, which is great. Like, I'm surprised this is not sitting in one of my defense-based damage dealers. Probably someone needs regearing, especially as the other substats are okay. So I have crit damage and accuracy, so that's good. This one is on Razelvarg. I'm not using Razelvarg anywhere. Probably I should. I have a couple in Stone Skin, which is great because now it's a strategy, especially this one is HP based. It can be on Embrace, for example. Let's check what's on my Embrace, and this one can be on defense based. Having your damage dealer in 4 pieces Stone Skin and 4 pieces Lethal or Savage is a good strategy there. I don't have anything in Lethal. That's one of the things that you can focus on forging. Maybe I'll show you what I mean if we do forging here. But for example, let's check the actual gears I have on a couple of champions. For example, Marius is in my best Slayer set. 240 speed, I cannot get him higher than this. 340% crit damage, 5.4k defense. These are good stats, but Marius is in my best gear. If we check Fabian and Armand's, for example, Fabian is in my fastest accurate gear. 4 pieces pinpoint, 340 speed. I cannot get him to even 360, which is, and 700 accuracy. Maybe I can sacrifice some accuracy to make him faster. I haven't looked at my gear, but he's in broken pieces. If I look, for example, at Armand's, who's in speed and perception, he's at 308, which is super slow in today's meta, and 700 accuracy. So also he should be regeared. We will check the optimizer together to see if I missed something here, if I can gear one of these champions better. Though I'm not looking forward to it, I don't think that there is. Let's check a damage dealer. I know that George, for example, should be in my best attack percent damage dealing pieces. So he's in lethal and broken pieces. 234 speed is okayish. 6.8k attack. 6.8k attack. He's not even 7 or 7.5. 330% crit damage is okay. If I can get his attack higher and his speed, he's okay in today's meta. As is, he's barely okay. He's barely functioning. Let's check my best HP damage dealing pieces. It's spread over Embrace and Narcissus because I'm still using both depending on the situation. And they are in that hybrid build, 4 pieces Stone Skin and 4 pieces of Lethal here. 96k HP on a HP based damage dealer is okay. 240% crit damage is a little bit low and he's slow. So that's my Narcissus. What I went with for Embrace, for example, he's even slower. Look at this, 177. 300% crit damage and 70k HP can work if he's 100 speed faster. You cannot have a champion at 177 speed in today's meta. That's why Embrace, I just put the best pieces of gear that I can on him. But probably I should swap from his pieces and Narcissus pieces. I should combine both to give me an HP based damage dealer. Probably it would be Embrace, not Narcissus, at 240 speed and maybe 280% crit damage and 80k HP or something. But these stats are really bad. And again, that's the best to my account. Another champion is Maya Crisia in 6 pieces because I cannot put her in 9 pieces Merciless yet. So she's fast enough, so these stats are good. I got lucky with Merciless, and because Marius needs Slayer, not Merciless, so that's my best Merciless gear. Almost 260 speed with 310% crit damage on a Crisia is really great. So I'm proud of this build, and that's my best Merciless gear, as I said. Now let's do one last check. We'll go quickly to Hell Hades Optimizer. We'll allow the optimizer to take whatever gear it wants, and let's check if I can make any of these builds better, and I missed it. Okay, we are on the optimizer here. So for example, let me see. Oh, I forgot to show you Siphi's build. Siphi, what I wanted to do with her, and because I wanted her to be the fastest on my account, but I wanted her also to be in protection, in 9-piece protection. Here's my Siphi. Again, looking for her took me some time. So I couldn't put her in 9 pieces protection. So I went down to 6 pieces. Though I would prefer this, but she would have been too slow in 9 pieces. So this is okay for 6-piece protection. 386 speed is okay for almost all PvE content, but not for PvP. For PvP, I wanted, if this speed is on 9 piece protection, it's okay-ish, not the best, but with only 6 pieces, I should have gotten her to 400 or more. So that's my best 6 piece protection set on CV. Now let's go back to the optimizer. As you can see, I was trying to do this in the optimizer. So, for example, let's go check Fabian here. I will ask the optimizer to take whatever gear it wants, and what I want on him is 390 speed and let's say 450 accuracy. I want to prioritize speed. So let's see if I have anything better to put on my Fabian. I'll bring you back once the optimizer finishes its job. That was fast, it took only a sec, so let's see now. So of course he's going to steal pieces from Arbiter and Ziffy, and let's see what he will gain. So he will actually gain 49 speed. So I can get my Fabian to 391 speed, which is not bad. How much accuracy? 620 accuracy. This build is actually good. But as you can see here, this will require me to take pieces from my 2 fastest champions. So I'll depend mainly on Fabian. First of all, he will lose the 4-piece pinpoint, but if I sacrifice at least one of my speed boosters, I can get him to 390 speed. Let me actually take a screenshot of this because it's way better than the build I have on him. So I was wrong. If I get my Fabian in this build, but I will lose my speed booster, he will be in a great build. Now let's check something else. Can I put my Armands, for example, who would be my secondary champion of this category? Can I put him in at least 4 pieces of stone skin? And also I will tell the optimizer to take whatever it wants. Sets, I want him in 4 pieces of stone skin, but with enough speed and accuracy. Same stat, so I want him to be as fast as possible, as accurate as possible in today's meta, prioritizing speed. Now let's see if I can enhance my Armand's build and switch. Doesn't look like it will find anything. Yep. So let's decrease our requirements a little bit. Let's see 360 speed and let's do this. Okay. So that's a little bit better. Now let's see. So I can switch him to stone skin. Of course, he's stealing pieces from my Carnage and other champions, but I can get him in 4 pieces of stone skin. So 360 speed is okay in stone skin. And then accuracy is 538. That's also not bad. So it's not as disappointing as I made it sound. And for stats, I want him to be at least 70k HP. Speed as high, like I'm being very modest here for today's meta. And 250% crit damage. He doesn't need accuracy, so let's prioritize speed and then crit damage as our second priority, and our third priority will be HP. Let's see now. Can I enhance my Empress build? Oh, it will take 3 minutes. I'll bring you back when it's done. Okay, let's check now. So basically the same HP that he got now. I'll increase his speed 223. Of course, is way faster. Anything is way faster than 170s that I have on him. 300% crit damage. But who am I stealing pieces from? So I'm destroying my Rota's build. Thor is not a problem. Probably I can find other pieces for him. This shows exactly what my problem is. On my level of account, 5 years into the game, I should be able to gear multiple champions at a decent level. And that's not possible here. Forget about Thor because he's not like top tierly used on my account anymore. To give Empress this build, which is okay. It's not amazing. It's not great. It's just okay. I'll have to destroy 1, 2, 3, 4 champions that I'm also using regularly. Like the previous ones, if I needed to put Fabian or Armand in top level gear, I'm destroying my Sifu or my Arbiter's build. So regearing this will give me only one good team probably that can fit into top level arena, and then everyone else would fall way behind because I just took their best pieces to gear that one top team. This is the part that's disappointing for me. I thought that at my level, yes, I won't be able to gear like 10 or 15 attack-based damage dealers with top-level gear, but I should be able to gear at least 2 or 3 without stripping other people from their gear. Of course, I can save gear presets and keep regearing people depending on where I'm using them, but that takes a lot of silver. But some of these, like the stone skin, you cannot even farm it. It's completely based on luck. What you can do, and I'm doing this for years now, farming the highest level of Hydra as early as possible after it's released, and then just wait for good pieces to drop. So my account is still probably like in the top 1% of the accounts in rate, maybe even in the top 0.7 or 0.8%. What I will do to try to be a little bit more satisfied about my account is that one of my tasks, if I find time, is to do some aggressive gear cleansing and then forge whatever material I have. Probably I might do these on videos with you, but what we want to see is that we know the stats, we have them on video here. So after I do all of this, can I make that additional leap? With my perception gear, with my lethal gear, can I enhance the builds on these champions that we checked today to a level higher than what we've seen? That's what we see, so expect whenever I have time, we'll do some gear cleanse together, we'll do some forging together. We might do forging during a personal reward CVC, though this is usually in the middle of the work week, but let's see what we can do. And then we'll check again to see if I'm happier about my account. If you're still here, thank you so much for stopping by today. I'll see you next time.